This is Cem Ceminay live, reporting from Istanbul, Turkey. I'm with my visiting son, Remzi the Rooster. And I think we're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I think I say because I'm not sure. We might do this entire show for nothing, which has happened to me before, like many times. I talk to myself and no one hears because I am not live. I think I am, but I am not live. I'm looking right now to see if I'm on Twitter, if I can see myself on Twitter, because it usually does come up there if I'm live, like I think I am. The entire show might start and finish like this. I am live. I am live. And this is live. Is Donald Trump a good president or a bad president? Here is my compatriot, my show partner, and also happens to be my dear son, Remzi Rooster. Hi, Remzi.
Hello, Cem Ceminay.
Thank you, Remzi Rooster. Since Remzi Rooster is unable to speak in Turkish because he doesn't know enough Turkish, right? Right?
Değil mi? Değil mi?
Yes, evet?
Yes, evet. Evet.
We're going to do this show in English, okay? So the whole world can understand. And the subject is, of course, Donald Trump, which is a very popular subject. And the president, Donald Trump, is he a good president or a bad president? Now, we're going to debate this with Remzi Rooster. Are you ready, Remzi Rooster?
I am prepared.
Okay, now, we tossed a coin. I lost, so I'm going to defend Donald Trump. I'm going to be pro-Trump. And Remzi won the coin toss, and he, like the rest of the world, will be anti-Trump, right?
Mm-hmm. Evet. Yes.
Now, would you like to start, Remzi Rooster Remzi, why you don't like Trump or why you think he's a bad president?
I can get things started. One main reason that I would think that he is not a good president is because he cannot complete a sentence. He will get lost on his way to his point, and he will arrive at something completely unrelated.
Let me debate that and give an answer right away so the subject doesn't get lost. You know, sometimes one says something and then the answer, by the time it comes, you forget what the word was or what the sentence was. So anyway, this is what I'm going to say. I'm like him. I'm a Gemini. He's a Gemini too. I think he was born on the 14th of June, which is a week later than I am. But he's, of course, much older than I am. But you lose as a Gemini has nothing to do with his personality or his character. It's completely, according to his son, he loses concentration. So he cannot think straight because when he thinks of something, he's also thinking of something else at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, this may be, but if we're debating who's a good president, maybe a president should be able to remember this, you know? I mean, if we have a point he can't complete, then we can't make any progress because it's just completely unrelated things coming out of his mouth at all the time.
Well, which makes him an unreliable person, right?
That's right.
Okay, this is good. You know why? Because when you're unreliable, you become an ideal politician. Anyone who keeps his word and what he says is understandable, or people depend on what he says, that he's going to do what he says, he should not become a president or a politician, because a politician is someone that talks vaguely and promises things that he can't do, like the wall and stuff. So I think he's a good politician, a good president.
I can see the point. But we also have these problems of him just, dividing the entire country and even the world, where he is going to Europe and shoving the Prime Minister of Montenegro or calling Angela Merkel a nasty lady. These aren't positive.
Which she is. No, kidding aside, Trump has no protocol, diplomacy. He doesn't know how to act because he's a Gemini. Like, had I been in his place, I think the Third World War would start. As a matter of fact, if he gets the second term, a chance of second term, it might very well start.
Yes, that's very true, which is why I think my point of him being not a good president is a valid one, because we don't need that, especially over his he just wants money, so he is now supporting, people that are beheading
Like
journalists.
the Saudi Arabians?
Yes.
But he thinks about his country, and you have to admit that the economy has picked up since Trump took office.
Yes, but I mean, this is all based on what was already happening. It's just continued. If you look at the graph, it's just continues going up. There's no.
You mean Obama built this and then?
Yes, Obama built it, and then Trump just didn't mess anything up, and then he passed a big tax cut to help the businesses. So it's
He thinks about his own people, Americans, or rather, should I say, he thinks only of himself, I think. Huh?
yes, this is another main problem of him.
He thinks, or it's a problem not just of Trump, but the whole Gemini men.
Yes, you could say that.
Gemini women are very different. They're much more understanding and reliable. They don't have dual personalities like we do. You do admit that Trump has dual personalities.
Probably even more than dual.
That's good. That makes him international.
Yes, perhaps.
Like he can be an Arab with the Saudi Arabians. He could be a German with Merkel. He could be British with whatever,
While he has split personalities, I wouldn't say that he is relatable. He is very awkward if you watch him in any interactions with foreigners or people that he is unfamiliar with. He doesn't know how to connect with those types of people. So.
But he does fit in, does he? Does he not?
It depends how you define that, but no, I don't think he fits in. Look at him when he visited the Saudis and he's pushing, with the swords. He looked like he was a sore thumb.
He does his own show. He likes to be the center of attraction. Now, you have to admit that wherever Trump goes, Trump gets recognized and he gets all the attention.
Right, but this is also because he's offending the sensibilities of wherever he's going, typically.
I would say he knows how to touch the right buttons.
Yes, he does. He knows where the buttons are, and he likes to push them constantly. And if the attention goes away from him, he's looking for the first button that will bring it back.
Let's forget about his character for a while. Okay. We'll come back to that. But let's talk about his appearance. Now, appearance is very important for a U.S. president, right?
That's correct.
I think, and I believe that the only bald president that was on the job as a president was Gerald Ford, and he was not elected, and then he lost to a much hairy Jimmy Carter.
Yes, this is accurate history.
Okay. Now, I'm talking about since Kennedy. And then we had Nixon, the crook, but he had hair.
Yes, he had hair.
And then we had Reagan, who was an actor. He had hair.
Yes.
Then we had Clinton, both Bushes. They were nerds, but they had hair.
Yeah.
And Obama had hair. You can't tell, but he does have hair. Bill Clinton had good hair.
Yeah.
And Trump has a very individual type of hair.
You could say that if you're wanting to call a toupee.
But it's not a toupee.
Yes.
It's not a toupee. It's like he had this hair when he was on TV, The Apprentice, and he's had it for all his life. I think he was born with a very exceptional hair that no one can imitate.
This perhaps, but if you look, I would encourage the listeners to maybe look to YouTube, where if he is exiting a plane or a helicopter, his hair, often in the American media, they will show, is blowing off his head.
But it's stuck well.
Yes.
But it's stuck well.
It is stuck.
I mean, he uses what they call a Japanese kind of a paste, I guess, or whatever. You don't think that's his real hair?
I guess yes.
It is.
But it's put to the top of his head. He has more of around the back, sides.
Could it be the way he styles it.
Yes, exactly. But it's thin, and he is balding.
But he makes the best out of his balding hair, and he looks like he has plenty of hair.
Yeah, he pulls it off. But beyond his hair, we have his skin tone, which if you see him in anything but natural light, he is glowing like an orange. So this
Like you.
Yes, yeah, like a Cheeto.
You're a rooster too.
Yeah.
He's white. I mean, white. He's very, very white. And but I will get back to his hair again because his hair has its own character. It's like an individual piece of, something that is independent of Trump.
Yes, and if you look at his silhouette, you recognize it by the pump of his hair.
They made Alec Baldwin, I think, came up with a Trump, impersonation. Others did too, but none of them have the real hair.
No. It's something specific and unique. It can't be replicated. No.
That makes a precedent. That's why he's a good president. Plus, he eats only junk food.
Yes, he does, and
which is incredible.
It is McDonald's and things like that. He is afraid of being poisoned is a main concern. So
he doesn't need any help. He's poisoning himself.
Yes, this can be argued, but I would say that.
But a man at this age, eating all that junk food, he must be very strong, huh?
That's what his doctor says. He says that he's a svelte 235 pounds, perfect for his size, which is debatable if you look at him, but that's what they say. I will just say that for the president part of it, it's not so good when we have our champions of the sports and dignitaries coming to the White House and they're being fed Burger King and McDonald's, which he does now. He puts them onto spreads. And
he's not fit like Obama.
No.
But he has his own. He carries his own weight.
Yes, he does.
Plus, he knows how to dress. He ties his ties long.
He wears them entirely too long.
It's to cover his penis.
Yes. And
he doesn't want that to show.
His pants are incredibly too big. I don't know if anyone saw he went to England recently and he attended a meeting of dignitaries at one of the castles or palaces where you wear traditional English suits, and he looked like a penguin, like the criminal from the Batman movies.
Like a tall penguin.
Yes.
Tall and fat penguin. He wasn't, not like Danny DeVito penguin.
Yeah, he wasn't fitted at all, and you think that maybe the tailor was playing a joke on him with how he looked. And no.
So you don't approve the way he dresses?
No. I think he has no taste of how he's supposed to dress because he doesn't like to even consider anyone else's opinion, and then he dresses himself. So
I think he wears what he feels comfortable with, and he doesn't fit in everything.
Right. But the pants are ridiculous.
But with that body, any pants that he wears, he's going to look strange.
Yeah.
Because it's not a proportionate body, right?
No, it's not. But you could still not have your pants sagging on the ground for 2 inches. These things are like baggy 1990s American teenager pants, like very loose. It's not.
I argue the opposite. I say that he is telling the world and showing the world how rich America is. They have plenty of textile to spare.
I guess that could be if most of the stuff that he bought wasn't Italian or some fancy sort of, outside of America.
He probably buys from Italy and brands them Trump, right?
Yes, exactly.
He's an egomaniac?
He is. This is probably the number one disqualifier for being president.
But aren't most Americans egomaniacs?
Could be, yes, it's true.
I mean this in a good way. Like, they love themselves. They feel that America is the great country, which Trump said, let's make America great again, right?
Right.
And they don't know much about the world other than America, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they would, if there was a world map in front of an average American, they would be able to name not most of the countries, but some of them?
No. The average American, no, they cannot.
Right, let me ask you another question. If you gave an empty map of the United States of America to an average American, do you think he would or she would be able to name the states, all of the states, or just the ones around where